If you've ever been told that you have diastasis recti, maybe you're pregnant, maybe you're postpartum, and you're wondering how can I work my ab muscles in a way that's safe even if I have diastasis recti, you're in the right place. This video is going to cover all sorts of different exercises in all different types of positions that are completely safe even if you have diastasis recti. Grab a weight and grab a mat and let's get started. For the first exercise that we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and move down onto the mat. If you have diastasis recti, it can be really strenuous on your ab muscles to just lay straight back, so feel free to move to your side first and then flip over onto your back. This is a great modification for crunches. If you find those in other workouts and you're thinking, that doesn't really seem diastasis recti safe, it probably isn't if you're in the beginning stages of healing. This exercise is going to look like lifting knees up towards your body one at a time. The key here is to make sure that your abs are engaged, wrapping around your core. Your pelvic floor is lifting and squeezing up and in as your leg is up in the air. You're controlling all this movement from your core, so your back should stay nice and flat as you're doing this exercise. I'm going to link a video above about breathing and engaging all those muscles if that concept is new to you, because it really is foundational if you want to move forward with ab strengthening. But I'm just going to go ahead and assume that you know how to do that breathing for the remainder of this video. But like I said, feel free to check out the other video first if you are unfamiliar. So go ahead, engage your core. We're going to do 1 minute of lifting up, one knee at a time. With each lift, there's a small exhale and engaging of your core. I like to put my hands right on my stomach so that I can feel that my abs are coming together, pressing my spine down into the mat with each lift. If you feel a lot of arching happening, then you're really not using your core muscles as much as you should be. All right, and that's 1 minute of that exercise. We're gonna go ahead and do 2 rounds of each exercise, so 1 minute twice, so you get 2 minutes of each move today. I'm gonna show you a modification on this next round to make it a little more challenging. If you feel like, oh, my abs are nice and engaged, I've been working on my core a little bit, I'm ready for something a little bit more advanced, I'll go ahead and show you how you can advance that. Got about 5 seconds here and we'll get started. So if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, start with your knees up. Core should be really engaged. You really have to watch for that bulging, and you're just going to drop 1 foot down at a time. When you do this, you're basically engaging your core the whole time. You really don't get a break. So every once in a while, I might bring my knees in, let my core rest, take a big inhale and relax. Exhale it again, draw them back in, and continue. Quality is so important when it comes to ab exercises. It doesn't matter how many you can do if the quality isn't there. Maybe you can do 30 seconds this way, and then you start to feel like your abs aren't quite strong enough, and then you can move back into the little bit simpler version. Either is good. It doesn't matter where you're at right now, as long as you're not feeling that bulging. If you're feeling that bulging, you're trying to do something harder, you could actually end up making your rehab, your recovery longer. Good, take a break there. All right, we're gonna do 1 more exercise laying on our back here. Make sure I have enough room. For this one, you are going to be starting up in this position, and you're going to be dropping 1 leg and 1 arm down and then bringing them back up. Again, you wanna be exhaling as you're moving your arm and leg so that your core is engaged, pelvic floor is engaged, and your back stays nice and flat. I'm going about 3 seconds here. Go ahead and go. Start with opposite arm, opposite leg. So right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. Only go down as far as you can before you feel like, oh yeah, I'm noticing that my abs aren't quite as engaged anymore. Maybe there's some bulging going on. So maybe you're just doing a little movement. And if you are, that's okay. It's better to start with the range that you have than to push yourself, causing that bulging and more stress on your abdominal muscles. break. You can always make things easier by shortening your levers. So if you want to make them harder, you straighten out your legs and arms. If you want to make them easier, you bend your knees. Go ahead and get started again here. If you're having a hard time keeping them engaged, just go smaller ranges of motion. Don't go down quite as far. All right, go ahead and take a break. For this next move, we're gonna go ahead and move into a side lying position. This is going to be a side plank. Traditional side planks, usually you have like an extended arm, an extended leg, and they're up in the air. You might not be there yet. You might not have the strength. So we're gonna modify this just a little bit by being down on your elbow and by bending one of your knees. You're gonna just lift up, pause there, and then come back down. Each time you lift up, you're gonna exhale, draw your abs up and around, and then inhale as you lower. Go in about 10 seconds here. All right, go ahead and exhale, draw your pelvic floor in, up and in, your abs around, and then let it back down. Trying to stay in a nice straight line, so your elbow should be under your shoulder and your hips should be stacked. They shouldn't be rolled back or rolled forward. You want them nice and stacked. And you should feel that your abs are engaging before you lift each time. Fifteen more seconds here. One more. Good. All right, we're gonna go ahead and either roll the other way or flip to the other side. If you wanna make it more challenging, if you feel like you're ready and your abs are engaging well, you can go ahead and straighten both legs out. Go ahead and start in lifting and back down. Lift and back down. Again, you can bend the bottom leg or straighten it depending on what level you think you're at. Again, I have my hand right on my abs so I can feel, are they engaging? Is there any bulging happening? Form is so important with ab exercises. Should be feeling it right on your side, the lower side usually, side closest to the mat. It's working hard. Good, take a break. We'll do one more minute on each side. If you do feel like your shoulder's getting tired, you can outstretch your arm to change the position a little bit or take breaks if you need to. Just make sure you get back in there when you're ready. All right, go ahead and lift up and back down. Exhale. Don't forget about your pelvic floor. Sometimes as we get tired, we forget, oh yeah, we're supposed to be squeezing that up and in as we lift and exhale. So don't forget to do that. You don't need to be going super high. You should just be a nice straight line at the top. Twenty more seconds. Last one, lift. and take a break. Go ahead and flip over. Let's make it nice and even, doing it on both sides. We'll go in about 10 seconds here. Go ahead and lift. We actually have 4 different layers of abdominal muscles, and it's important to address all of them. If we just do crunches all the time, we're kind of neglecting our obliques, and we're not really focusing on that deep transverse abdominis muscle that is so important to connect with when you're trying to heal diastasis recti. Sometimes we can feel like we're doing lots of different ab exercises, and it just doesn't seem to be changing anything cosmetically. And sometimes the reason is we're trying to do really high level ab exercises before we address those deep core muscles and those foundational skills, or maybe we're neglecting our pelvic floor and we're not lifting that. Go ahead and take a break. And if we're not addressing all the pieces, it's going to be hard to reach our goals. So make sure you don't neglect any layers or pieces of your abdominal muscles. Next, we're going to move into a hands and knees position. This is called a bear crawl, using a lot of the same muscles as a plank, but just a little bit different with the muscles that we're using. So with this, you want to have your hands under your shoulders, and you want to have your knees about hip width apart. I like to curl my toes under and use them for a little bit of stability. As you exhale, tighten your abs, draw your pelvic floor in, squeeze it nice and tight, and then you're going to lift your knees about 2 inches off the ground, pause, and then come back down. This is a pretty intense exercise, so we're going to do 3 rounds of 30 seconds of this one. We'll start in about 5 seconds here. Go ahead and get into your hands and knees position, and we're going to start. Go ahead. Inhale as you come down. Exhale, squeeze pelvic floor and abs as you lift up. Start with the squeezing of your pelvic floor and ab muscles, and then lift your knees up off the ground. Make sure all those components are working before you lift. If you try to lift first, you're probably compensating and using muscles that we don't necessarily want to be using. Go ahead and take a break. Hands and knees positions are really great during pregnancy because we can use the weight of our baby to really strengthen our abdominal muscles. So I love this even during pregnancy, great postpartum as well. We'll go ahead and start round 2 here in about 4 seconds. Get into that hands and knees position, and exhale, squeeze, and lift. Don't be afraid to audibly exhale nice and loud. I'd rather you be exhaling nice and loud and getting a good squeeze of your pelvic floor and abs than trying to be quiet. Sometimes working out at home is the best because you don't care how loud you are. Good. Take a break. We'll take another 15-second rest and then finish up with our last 30 seconds of our bear crawls. All right. Go ahead and get in that hands and knees position and go. Remember to squeeze before you even lift. Abs wrap, pelvic floor squeezes. Hold, 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 hold. Good. Last one. Okay. All right, the next exercise we're going to be doing is in a kneeling position. This is the one, if you do have a weight, go ahead and grab it. I'm gonna use a 10-pound weight for today. I wouldn't start with anything too heavy. You could even fill up a water bottle and start with that. Think of around the 5 to 10 mark. Basically, we're trying to lift something that is going to make it so that our core has to engage as we move it away from our body. So in this kneeling position, we're going to be also engaging our butt muscles. So if you feel those working, that's a good thing. What you're going to do is take the weight, start with it close to your body, and then engage your core and pelvic floor and move it away from your body, and then bring it back slowly. Hopefully you feel that as it's away from your body, your core is really working to keep it stable. Your back isn't doing all sorts of things. You're just staying nice and straight as you move that weight away from you and bring it back in. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started in 3 seconds here. Here we go. Exhale, engage, move that weight away, bring it in nice and close. Again, this is something that you probably could do without your core muscles, but you don't want to. That's hard on the rest of your body. We want to use our strong abs to support our back so we don't end up with back pain. So we have to connect with it and get it engaging again. Good, take a break. For this exercise, we're gonna do the 3 rounds of the 30 seconds. All right, we're gonna go again in 5 seconds here. You don't have to switch directions, just giving you a different angle here. Go ahead and squeeze pelvic floor and abs, put it out. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, squeeze everything, bring it back and inhale. Ten more seconds. Good. Hopefully this video is showing you that there are lots of ways to work your core without necessarily doing the crunches. With the crunches, we shorten that space and we put a lot of stress on our ab muscles, and usually we're not ready for that when we have diastasis recti in the beginning stages at least. So we wanna work our core in other ways where it has lots of room. It's not twisted, it's not crunched, it's just able to really engage. Go ahead and grab that weight. Let's do our last round of 30 seconds. Go. Hopefully you can feel your butt working, but also your core really supporting you as that weight gets further away from your body. 5 more seconds. Good. We have one last exercise that we're gonna do today, and this one is in a standing position. Who would have thought you could work your abs in standing, right? We're gonna focus on obliques again. And with this one, make sure that there's something close, a wall or a chair. If you have any issues with balance, and especially if you're pregnant, I don't want anybody falling and getting hurt. So with this one, you're gonna put our hands up by your head, and you're going to lift your knee towards your elbow. With this, really think about this side area here crunching together and the movement being powered by your core muscles. We're gonna go ahead and get started in about 7 seconds here. We'll do 30 seconds on the right, 30 seconds on the left, 2 rounds on each side. Here we go. Exhale as you crunch, inhale as you bring it back down. Exhale, inhale. As you exhale, make sure you're drawing abs together. Lifting that pelvic floor. 5 more seconds here. And switch sides. It's okay if you lose your balance, I do too. Put your foot down, reset, and go again. Sometimes it can help to look out, find a point on the wall ahead of you, stay focused on that, and that can help with balance if that is an issue for you. 10 more seconds. Last one. Good, take a break, shake it out. We'll do one more round on each side, and that will be it for today's workout. All right, 3 seconds here. Let's go ahead and get started. Arms, hands on head, and crunch to the side. You're probably feeling it in your hip too over here. That hip is working pretty hard to stabilize you. If you've followed my channel for any length of time, you follow me over on Instagram, you know that I really think it's important to strengthen our whole bodies. So even though in this workout we're targeting abs specifically for diastasis recti, I truly believe that it's important to strengthen our entire bodies if we want to heal and stay strong. So switch sides. I'm not saying you have to go to the gym and lift the heaviest weights they have, but doing some strength and resistance training is so good for your whole body. Ten more seconds. Finish strong here, ladies. Awesome. Last one. Let's go ahead and just end with a little bit of movement to stretch it out. I want you to go ahead and reach down towards your toes. Getting a nice stretch through your lower back here. We'll go ahead and move down onto the mat. It can be really nice to stretch our abs by lowering our hips down towards the floor. You do have to be a little bit careful with diastasis recti. You don't want to be overstretching your abs. But a nice gentle stretch there is really awesome after we focus on core muscles. I like to turn towards my left shoulder and right shoulder just to get a little bit of pull, especially after we work our obliques. If you move into a seated position, go ahead and reach across. Again, that's really going to stretch out our oblique muscles right over here. Go ahead and go to the other side. Thanks for working out with me today. If you found this video helpful and you would be so kind to share it with a friend, that would help me out so much and also help your friend out. So that's just amazing. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much for watching.